everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queadenorah, your favorite virtual castmate, and today I'm going to be sharing 10 non-musical theater activities for you to explore during this time. I figured that this would be a great time for me to just share different activities that I think will not only help you get out of the house or get your mind going, but also just for you to, find what else kind of tickles your fancy besides singing, dancing, and acting for a change. Here we go. I'm looking at my notes, by the way. First activity that I have to share is visiting museums. I think that it is nice, or an aquarium. I think it's nice to just enjoy the art of other people without thinking about how it relates to how you need to learn it, as opposed to like seeing art and interpreting it for your own enjoyment. Even watching television and Netflix sometimes can feel like it's a job because I know I find myself analyzing what the actors are doing, and it's just hard because that's my craft. But go to the museum and look at some visual art. Okay, the next activity that I have is going for a nature walk or riding your bike. Now, a lot of the times if you're commuting, you probably do this anyway, but I think there's a difference between walking just for personal enjoyment versus walking because you need to go somewhere. So if you have, a nice warm jacket to wear or a sweatshirt and you're able to go outside during peak hours of the sun or when the sun is out, or you can ride your bike, through the park or something, just go out, grab some fresh air, and enjoy the weather while you can before it starts snowing and the wind starts blowing all over the place and all that crazy stuff. Number 3, just dance because you want to, not because you have to learn choreography or not because you need to, do something for a callback, but simply put on your favorite song and just dance in your house. Number 4, cook or bake. If you're someone who's not necessarily good at cooking, recipes exist for a reason. Everyone has a starting point. I think everyone pretty much learns how to make breakfast first and foremost. Then they start elevating to dinner, and then you start going into holidays. But I know for me, I started baking really young, and that was my introduction into cooking. So maybe you want to learn how to make chocolate chip cookies or sugar cookies. If you're a vegan or you have special dietary needs, maybe you can even YouTube what types of ingredients you can use for that. There are plenty of videos on it, but whip something up in the kitchen. Next, be a tourist in your own city. You can live in a place for a very long time and kind of lose the chutzpah of it because you're just there, but find out new facts about the place where you're from. Because this is a channel that likes to celebrate Black people, maybe you can look up some Black facts about your particular area. I know for me, I'm originally from Philadelphia, and it was very important for me to learn a lot of Black history as it relates to the city, and it's actually quite interesting. The art museum was actually architected by a Black man, and I believe he was the first Black person to graduate from UPenn's architectural program, and he also architects the free library within the city as well. So for me, that was actually kind of cool, and I didn't learn that until a few years ago. So I think that sometimes it's nice to, just look up interesting facts about where you're from and connect it to something cultural, like who you are. The next activity, learn 20 phrases in a different language. So for me, growing up, I took French in school, and I actually used to speak French very well when I was younger. I even went to Paris for one of my birthdays where I got to practice French, and it was really awesome, and I've been tapping back into that recently because it's an activity where I find enjoyment. I was obsessed with France growing up. I loved all things French fashion. I even did a project once for class where we had to choose an industry, do a project, and of course I chose LVMH, and I just thought that I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. But that just leads me to say maybe you like watching anime, or maybe you like Portuguese, or you like Italian, whatever it is. Look for a different language and learn 20 phrases, or Swahili, whatever. But I included bowling and indoor rock climbing because there were places I know near me that were open and they offered these activities. Also, indoor skydiving is one as well. But if you're able to kind of get in before they shut down everything, definitely suggest doing so. I think it's nice to have adrenaline-based activities where you can kind of sweat it out and do something that's thrilling for once. The next activity, coloring. I kind of laughed at adult coloring, I'm not gonna lie, for some time, but I actually started coloring again when I was learning some information, like a lot of science-based stuff, and for me it was very helpful to color and learn at the same time, but I think coloring just for personal enjoyment is awesome. I have my little Crayola box at my desk station, and some days I just, I want to feel like a kid again and tap into young Q, because she is the root of all things me. Next, write to seniors in nursing homes. The holidays tend to be a very depressing time for millions of people across the country, and the most neglected group are our seniors. And I think it'll be really sweet if you just wrote a letter to someone, just telling them that they're appreciated, and maybe you can talk about yourself and develop a pen pal situation. Last but not least, spend money on a stranger and tell them something nice. I have found that sometimes an act of kindness can literally just change the entire trajectory of your day. So say for instance, you're at the bodega and you notice that, someone puts up their cart. Maybe you can say, hey, I don't know if you need an extra $10, but here you go, and I love your jacket, by the way. And just leave, just because. Practicing kindness just shows that you're thinking about others. You're not always thinking about yourself, and it's just a great way to be reminded and remind others that there is some greatness still left in humanity. So those are my 10 activities, my non-theater based activities that I had to share today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Write comments down below on non-theater activities that you like, and I will see you all in the next show. Bye.